Hello, Shubhkumar, it is visible to you? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is our paper 2. It starts from research design. So today we will learn about the what is called research design and how do we write down the hypothesis. So what is research design? Please you read.
Yes, sir. So research design. What is research design? Research design is a detailed, systematic, planned, or method for conducting research. It serves as a blueprint for collecting, analyzing data, and ensuring the research is reliable, valid, and objective.
One sec.
Key elements of
So one sec.
Sir.
So
Yes,
what are the characteristics of research design? First will be it should be systematic.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the meaning of systematic? That means there are specific stages and we have to follow all the stages systematically. That is one by one. If you think first the result and then you are thinking about the introduction or hypothesis framing, that is not good. There are some people, usually they do the research and based upon the results, they are making hypothesis. Okay, this is not good. Therefore, it should be systematic, planned, or method. Okay, now in the next.
Okay, sir. Key elements of research design include research objectives, clear, precise statements of the goal of the study, research questions, or hypothesis, specific queries the research aims to answer, or proposition to be tested.
Yeah. So first one will be the research objective or the research question. After that, you can write down the hypothesis. Why the hypothesis is important?
Sir, because hypothesis is a, that only we can have a shape of the scientific, because hypothesis is a scientific scientific construction. So that only we can measure the variable properly. That is a researchable topic.
Hypothesis is important because hypothesis is presupposition. Okay, to test the research goal. We have a specific research goal and we have to test the research goal. Number 3 is the variables. Please read it.
Yes, sir. Variables, definition of independent and dependent, definition of independent, dependent, and control variables.
Okay, so broadly,
And
we can think about
yes,
the
sir.
independent, dependent, and control variables. What do you mean by the control variables?
So a variable which generally it's controlled by experimenter, the person who is experimenting, researcher.
Usually the control variables are the mediating or the moderating variables. There are some variables that can moderate the relationship, or there are some mediating variable between the independent and dependent variable, the relationship of independent and dependent variable. What is the difference between mediating variable and moderating variable?
So actually, I don't know more about, but I'll try to answer. So moderating variables, we can moderate depending on our research design. When it comes to moderate variable, mediating is the variable they keep mediating the independent and dependent variables. That much I know, sir.
Yeah, mediating means through. Okay. And moderate means that can change the strength of the relationship. For example, intelligence moderates the relationship between teaching strategy and the academic achievement. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next is the method. Please read.
Methods, techniques, procedures of data collection, such as surveys, experiment, observations, or secondary data analysis. Should I go for fifth one, sir?
Yeah,
sampling?
Next is sampling.
Sampling strategies for selecting participants or cases, including sample size and sampling techniques.
Yeah.
Yes. Sixth one is data analysis, approaches and statistical methods for analyzing data. Seventh is ethical considerations, ensuring the research adheres to ethical standards such informed consent and confidentiality. Eighth point, timeline and budget, planning the schedule, financial resources needed for the study.
Okay, so these are the steps you have to follow step by step. I have told you now, that is, please submit one research proposal.
Yes, sir. It is almost ready, sir. Due to little bit some technical, I already prepared, sir. Almost ready, sir. I am going to submit by tomorrow, or most probably.
Okay, please you write down the timeline there. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Also, I'm making the this also, sir. That financial things, whatever you given, that proposal, that structure. Madam is given a structure how to write. I am following that.
So you have to write down the timeline.
Sure, sir.
Kavita, now you read the hypothesis testing. Hello, Kavita, are you here? Kavita?
Yes, sir.
পড়ো hypothesis testing.
Hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing is a statistical method used to make decisions or inference about population parameter based
কি হলো?
based on sample data. It involves testing an assumption hypothesis about a population parameter. Here is an overview of the key components and steps involved.
Right.
Number 2.
So one sec. So when we are making the hypothesis, that means we are making the inferences about population parameter. What do you mean by the population parameter?
Sir, population where mu means
What is population parameter?
sir, when the result is generalized over the population, any characteristics that is called population parameter, sir.
No, population parameter means parameters of the normal probability curve.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so you are inferring the population based upon your sample data.
Yes, sir.
So that is the important part of hypothesis. Next.
Number 2, components of hypothesis testing. Null hypothesis, H naught. Null hypothesis is a statement of no effect, no difference, or no relationship. It is the hypothesis that the researcher tries to disprove. Number 3, alternative.
One sec. So when we have no idea about the relationship of independent and dependent variables, because there are no prior studies, then we can make the null hypothesis. Okay. And if there are some studies already done by some researcher and they have observed the relationship is there, then we cannot make the null hypothesis. Because most of the time we find that the authors, they have written null hypothesis. Though in the introductory section, they have written there is some study related to the relationship of the two variables. So this is a serious mistake.
Yes, sir. This is the null hypothesis and simultaneously right. Null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis.
Yeah. So when you find that there are some studies, they have noted the relationship, and you are also trying to examine whether that relationship is applicable in India or not, then you can make the alternative hypothesis, not the null hypothesis.
Yes.
Next.
Alternative hypothesis H1 or HA. The alternative hypothesis is what you want to prove. It suggests that there is an effect, a difference, or a relationship.
Correct. Next.
Test statistics. A test statistic a test statistic is a standardized value that is calculated from sample data during a hypothesis test. Example include Z-score, T-score, chi-square statistics, etc.
Okay, Shutaram, after the hypothesis, then you have to prove whether there is some effect of the independent variable, whether there is any relationship or not, whether there is any association between the two categorical variables or not. For that reason, we can do some test statistic like T statistics. We can use the correlation, we can use the chi-square statistics, etc. Next.
Sir, here Z-score means previous day we learned Z-score, T-score, that is, sir.
Z-score is the standard score. Z-score means standard score. Score minus mean divided by the standard deviation.
Yes,
that
sir.
is the Z-score.
And Z-score
Based upon the Z-score, we can reach the
T-score.
T-score. T, that is the capital T. But here the T is small t. Capital T and the small t is different.
Then this T which indicate test, T-test, sir.
This is the T-test.
Okay. Significance level, alpha. Significance level, open denoted by alpha, is the probability of rejecting the null hypothesis when it is true. Common significance level are 0.05, 0.01, and 0.10.
Correct. Okay. So the level of significance, that is very important, particularly for hypothesis testing. You have to initially tell, that is whether the significance level will be 0.05 or 0.01 or 0.001.
P-value. P-value. The p-value is the probability of obtaining a test statistic at least an extreme as the one that was actually observed, assuming that the null hypothesis is true.
Okay, so p-value means basically the probability value. That is whether it is 0.05 or 0.01. This is the p-value. And if you think that it is 0.06, that means you are accepting the null hypothesis. Okay, you are not accepting the alternative hypothesis.
Decision rule. This involves comparing the p-value to the significance level. If the p-value is less than or equal to alpha, you reject the null hypothesis. Otherwise, you fail to reject the null hypothesis.
If it is 0.05 level, then you cannot accept the null hypothesis. If it is 0.06, 0.09, then you can tell, okay, the null hypothesis is accepted. What is the meaning of 0.05, 0.01? Can you tell?
Sir, among the 100%, 5% may be negative, and 95% is confident that the result within the normal probability curve.
Correct. Now is the writing hypothesis.
Writing hypothesis. State the null hypothesis H naught. This should be a statement that indicates no effect or no difference. Example, H naught is
Mu equal to?
Mu equal to 50. The population mean is equal to 50. Example, H naught p-value is equal to 0.5. Population proportion is 0.5.
So this is the null hypothesis writing.
State the alternative hypothesis H1 or HA. This should be a statement that indicates the presence of an effect or a difference. Example, H1 mu is not equal to 50. The population mean is not equal to 50. Example, H1 p-value not equal to 0.5. The population proportion is not 0.5.
Why it is 50?
Sir, population mean is not equal to 50.
Yeah, population mean is not equal to 50. Steps in hypothesis testing.
Steps in hypothesis testing. Formulate hypothesis. State the null and alternative hypothesis. Select a significance level alpha. Choose an appropriate alpha level that is 0.05. Collect data. Gather the sample data relevant to hypothesis. Calculate test statistic. Compute the test statistic from the sample data. Determine p-value. Find the p-value associated with the test statistic. Make a decision. Compare the p-value with alpha and decide whether to reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis. Sir, this point, the determine p-value, I cannot understand. Find the p-value associated with the test statistics, sir. What is the meaning, sir?
That means when you calculate the test statistic, then again you will get the p-value. Okay. P-value means probability value. So only if you have the test statistic, but you do not have the p-value, it does not carry any meaning for inferring the population. Suppose I am telling you 0.9, then you will ask me, what is this? If I say 0.4, what does it mean? So if I say, no, it is a 0.4 and the P level is 0.00001, then you can understand, oh, to show the relationship is very high. Okay.
Yes, sir. Draw conclusions. Interpret the results in the context of the research question or problem. By following these steps and understanding the components involved, hypothesis testing becomes a powerful tool for making inference and decisions based on data.
Okay. This is clear to all of you? If you have any question, you can ask me.
Sir, when we write the hypothesis, it is important which tense it indicate. It will be always present tense and future tense.
Yeah, when you will write the hypothesis, then you have to mention whether it will be significant at 0.05 level or 0.01 level or something. And you have to give adequate justification. 0.05 is better. For safety purpose. Suppose you have collected one data and the sample distribution is similar to the normal probability curve. So what will be your decision? Kavita?
Yes, sir.
Suppose you have collected one data and that data is similar to the normal probability curve. So what is your decision?
So null hypothesis is accepted, sir?
So what is your decision, Shiv Kumar?
Sir, null hypothesis is accepted.
Null hypothesis is accepted. Because there is no difference between the two curves.
Why, sir? Null hypothesis.
Because there is no difference.
Sir, when the alternative hypothesis is accepted, that's what time the normal probability does not follow.
Yeah, when you are following the alternative hypothesis, that means your population mean and your sample mean, they are not similar. But when you think that is the null hypothesis, that means your population mean and sample mean is similar.
Sir, that means you want to say that when we accepted null hypothesis, the population mean and sample mean is similar, right, sir?
Yeah, if you think that is your sample mean and population mean is similar, that means your distribution and population mean is same. So there is no effect. But if you find that it is dissimilar, then you can tell that is okay, it has some effect.
Okay, sir.
For example, here is a school, and in this school, students are learning by the lecture method. Okay. And when one teacher or administrator came and the administrator started teaching through the project method, then what will be?
Project method will be very effective, sir.
Yes.
I
That means
assume that.
The students, they will be more benefited by the project method.
Yes, sir.
That means there is a change in the population mean. Okay. The steps of research design is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now I am asking you, please tell me the research design for this study. You are asked to examine effect of one anti-anxiety drug for stress reduction. Then what will be your research design?
Sir, experimental clinical trial, sir.
What will be your design?
Post-facto design.
Now you tell me, how do you collect the sample? What will be your inclusion, exclusion criteria? What will be your hypothesis? What is your research question?
Sir, that said is correct. The design is correct, you are saying, sir?
How do you collect the data?
So first, that pre-test design and post design, sir. First, procedure. I'll tell you the procedure. We can make the two groups. One is the control group, and another one is the experimental group. And one group is which is we don't administer that drugs, and the experimental group we give the drugs with certain time period, like say that I can't explain the time period, minimum time period. After that, we will see the effect on the drugs in experimental groups.
So how do you select the control group?
So suppose we take 100 the people, those who are in the stress population, those who are in the stress, we select the sample like working people, those who are in the working in work setting. Then we collect that kind of sample and we categorize. First, we administer the stress tools, sir, and those who have less score, which have very less score, and those who are very high score, so we can make it based on that criteria.
Okay, Kavita, what will be your design?
Sir, two group pre-test, post-test design, sir.
But how do you select? How do you select?
Sir, randomly select the patient.
Random selection of the patient.
First, we screening the depressive patient by standardized tool, depression tool. Then after selection, we randomly divide the two group, one control group, one experimental group.
Okay, then
experimental group we give the medicine for time beings, and control group no, we do not give any medication. After a few times, then we observe the next we use the same standardized tool for depression measurement, and then collect the data.
So suppose I am requesting you to use the two control groups. Then how do you select the two control groups?
Sir, the patient that we are screened divide into three groups. One experimental group and then control group. Then randomly one by one selects experimental group, one first control, then one second control.
No, if there are two control groups, then how do you treat them?
One group, sir, give them placebo, or one group only health counseling.
Counseling.
Yes, sir.
It is true, one group we can give only the placebo, another group nothing. No counseling, because counseling has effect. And the medicine, and then the pre-post. That is the experimental design. But you have to follow the repeated measure design instead of the pre-post only. Pre-post also repeated measure, but you have to collect data at least with 3 days interval or 5 days interval. Instead of pre-post. Because how do you know that is what will be your post? Can you tell what will be your post? Kavita?
No, sir, I cannot say.
So it is very easy to say pre-post, but what is your post?
Only observer, sir.
No, pre-post, instead of the pre-post, you can tell that is at least 3 days interval or 4 days interval.
Sir, hello, sir. Hello. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because we cannot tell.
Sir, how to conduct repeated measure design, sir?
5 days. And we have decided that is the stress is reducing or something. Because you have no idea. Understand, Shiv Kumar? You
Sir,
have no previous idea when the stress will be reduced.
okay, sir. My
Another
question is that, sir,
another important part is the condition. What will be your instruction to the patient? That is also important. And what will be the condition in which the patient will be treated? Whether the patient will be treated within the hospital or the outside. If it is within the hospital, then you can observe them. But if it is outside, then you cannot observe. So research design is very important. Why the research design is important? Can anybody tell me?
sir, it is influence our results, sir, because it is depend. Research design is regulated our results also. That final result and.
Dekhi. Kavita, can you tell me why research design is important?
Sir, according to objective, if the design is not so good, the result will be misleading the pupil.
That is true. Any other observation? Research design is important because we can justify that the change in the dependent variable is due to the change in independent variable. None other than independent variables. Okay.
Sir, in case of experimental, but survey design.
Survey design also the same thing. Because if you want to prove the correlation, the regression, then again the same thing will come, that whether this change is due to your predicting variable or due to some other variable. For example, just to imagine the NEET result. So this NEET result is due to the individual's own ability level, or it is due to the other factor.
Yes, sir.
So that is important. You have to justify. In research, examiner always pointed out that other than this independent variable, what other variables can contribute to the change in dependent variable? And have you controlled them? So you have to tell it. Experimental design, survey research design, observational research design, all research designs should be very much stringent.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you suggest any book for research methodology that is we are very benefited?
Research methodology, you can study the book of Arun Sen. Hello, Farah.
Yes, sir.
Another book is the Carlinger's. Carlinger's book is best. Farah,
Okay,
for
sir.
the research design, which books better?
Sir, there is one. Sir, I have one book which can explain them everything in very easily. So let me share with them. So do you want me to share the book with them on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. I have the this PDF copy. Okay, sir. I will share it.
Hello, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so Farah will share.
Sir, I have one request, sir. Hello.
Hello, Shiv Kumar.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, my request is, sir, please give me some hypothetical questions so that we can work upon as a homework or in the next class, so that because it is what we are facing as in academics, sir. We are like really which design we have to put. So please, if you give the hypothetical question, it will really help us to think more. Like you right now, you have done the same way. So it's our request, sir.
Okay. Okay, I will do it. So you are suggesting I have to give some research question to you.
Sir, my question is just you asked now, like you are asking that I asked the pre-test and your question, but you are saying that repeated measure design. So this is what we are lacking actually. So give a kind of situations we have to think design, which design it suits. You go with some hypothetical questions, like few of them, like you already giving homework. The same
Yeah,
way,
definitely.
so that
We will discuss about the quasi-experimental design. At that time, I will tell.
exactly, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, can
Okay.
I share, sir, can I share Kothari's book with them? It
Kothari's,
will, sir, C.R. Kothari.
Kothari's book is not good.
Ma'am,
Okay.
Kotari is not good, madam. You come across it's too complicated.
Carlinger's book best. We have followed Edwards, Carlinger. Okay, now I am closing the session.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.